Okay, so Eg7 then, so we're into friction. A block of mass 5 kilograms rests on a rough horizontal plane, the coefficient of friction between the block and the plane being 0.6. Calculate the frictional force acting on the block when a horizontal force P is applied to the block. And the magnitude of P is, and then it varies. Also calculate the magnitude of any acceleration that might occur. Alright, so let's get a diagram. It's a horizontal plane, so that's relatively straightforward. And we have got a weight of 5g. We have a normal reaction. We have this force P that is trying to move the block, and there will be a frictional force opposing that. If it's going to move that way. So I will take my plus x and plus y to be parallel and perpendicular to the page. Okay, so let's resolve our forces. In the y direction, we're going to have no acceleration and no movement. So the sum of the y components is 0. It's going to come to 0. So n minus 5g equals 0. We've also got the relationship between friction and the normal reaction. So we also have that F equals mu n. And we know that mu is 0.6. And we also know that the pulling force if we have any motion, it will be horizontally. So we would have Newton's second law acting in that direction, and we'd have P minus F equals ma. So those are our three equations. So from 1, the normal reaction is 5g. By putting that into equation 2, we have that the maximum frictional force will be 0.6 times n, which is 5g. So I'm going to store my 9.8 in A. There's A there. So acceleration due to gravity there. So 0.6 times 5 A equals 29.4 newtons. So the maximum force that can act against a pulling force in contact between the block and that particular surface is 29.4 newtons. So if we have a pulling force of 12 newtons, then P is less than F max. So there's no movement, it remains stationary. At 28 newtons, the same thing, it's going to be less than F max, so there's no movement. But if P is 36, then there will be a shift because that's greater so therefore block will accelerate. So if we put that information into equation 3, we get 36 minus 29.4, which is the F max, equals 5A. So A will be 36 minus 29.4 all over 5. So 1.32. Did we use a rounded value of G? Yes, we did. So that's going to be equal to 1.3 meters per second to 2 SF. Okay, so that's Eg7.